Just don't F me up.
Okay, welcome back to the shit show. We are here. We're doing it. For us, it's Friday afternoon. I think that means we'll be a little extra squirrely. I don't know what day or time or week this will be coming out for listeners because if you haven't noticed yet, there's no rhyme or reason to when we publish episodes. So, yeah, that's where we are.
That's where we are. I think we recorded an episode 2 hours ago, and in that time I've lost my voice. I didn't realize it until we started talking. So
No.
as I squeaking and I kind of sound a little sexy.
Yeah, you
You're
do.
We'll
doing
keep
you.
it.
You're doing you. You're
Hmm.
just doing it.
So today we are very, very, very lucky to be joined by Shelly Melroe. She's a licensed marriage family therapist, and she has a private practice called Rhythm for Living in Big Lake, Wayzata, and she also offers virtual appointments, which is just all the rage now. It's so accessible. So, and she also does one-on-one coaching, parent coaching. So if you're interested in parent coaching, also check out Shelly. But today she is joining us to talk about harmonized growth. And we we were very honest from the beginning. Miranda and I have no idea what harmonized growth is. It sounds delicious, but can you give us an intro of what is this harmonized growth?
Harmonized growth. I think you're already doing it just from what I've observed a little bit. Like you're being you, first of all.
Mm.
Right. You're being you. And harmonized growth really goes back to fundamentals of nature and that we are creatures of growth. And we've been growing since whenever we began, and we will continue growing until not.
Until we
Now,
die.
we could be, but sometimes we get flipped off the growth trajectory
Oh.
and get stuck in a spiral, right? And we're not in that regenerative, I'm learning something, I'm developing, like, oh, that was really confusing. Oh, that was really uncomfortable. Oh, I wonder what that's trying to teach me.
Oh.
Right?
Mm.
Instead we go like, oh no, don't try that. That might be uncomfortable. Oh, I got to know what to do right because I don't want that feeling. So
Mhm.
as soon
Huh.
as we start to get too far into that resistance of discomfort, like, oh my gosh, my kids are screaming. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? I got to get them to stop. Well, I'm going to make my life smaller. I'm going to make their life smaller, and we're going to try to make everything stop.
Oh.
Sounds like every day in
And now, and now we're not growing, right? Because when kids are going, blah, they're going like, blah, I need help, right? There's something undeveloped in them.
hmm
They're still dependent. So they start out dependent and they are literally enrobed by mom. And then then we're birthed and the road gets a little bit bigger. And it's kind of scary, but I can still find that rhythm of mom, of dad, of the what's familiar.
hmm
So constantly, as children, they're exposed to new things and it's going to be scary. They're unregulated. They do
Yeah.
not have a nervous system that can keep their body temperature, cannot keep their heart and breathing. They cannot feed themselves. They cannot regulate their survival.
Hmm.
Right? So what do we do as parents? We want to help them.
hmm
Like, we want to help them. But the challenge is we have to stay comfortable with their cues.
mm
Oh.
We have to stay comfortable with like, oh yeah, that's natural. It's natural for there to be a scream. Oh, it's natural for there to be frustration. That's they're growing. They're just communicating they need help.
Can you give us an
Oh,
example, like a lived example?
Okay, I bet you guys have some.
mhm.
Every darn day.
Yep.
Yes, that is because it's so natural.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be one? So throw something out.
Um,
What'd you
thing
hit this morning?
Yeah, the thing that's sticking with me is like when you said we have to be okay with their signals. So like
Yes.
their signals of, well, this morning
Yeah.
being very enraged that they were not granted time on their iPad, so they tipped
Oh
over a chair.
yeah. 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 Now how old?
5.
5. Okay. So a 5-year-old, they get a little living under their belts,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If we think about the scaffolding, developmental scaffolding, first they know, hey, somebody gets I'm here. Oh, phew. I'm not in this crazy world by myself. Somebody gets I'm here. I can feel secure, right? I've got my parents around me. I've got my herd that is there and I can sense them. And then they go through a stage of getting their squawks get responses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're cold, or oh yeah, they're hungry. But they get this phase of having their needs met. Well, guess what comes next? Autonomy.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I don't like that,
Yeah.
right? I want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah. I do
I do
it.
it.
I do it.
I do it. Oh, love that.
Oh, we do?
Love that. Yes.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that is a natural developmental stage of they get that I'm no longer, okay, I know I'm here, but I'm not in that warm place anymore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
now in this world. There's all this air, there's all this space, there's all this stuff, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
can still find that home base. We talk a lot about secure base. So as an infant, the secure base is like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And as a toddler, it gets to be a little bit bigger. I'm mobile. I can move around. I got curious enough and I stretched and I rolled and I crawled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So by the time we're 5, we can move and we can get our own things and we can do stuff. And we start to learn, I want pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No, I don't want a bath. No, right? It's all communicating where they are developmentally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're getting a sense, they know what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've developed patterns with the parents that their little detectors know and have been sensing, ooh, what's the pattern that I get the thing I want?
Oh yeah.
I said a
They're
pattern,
shaping. They're
shaping.
shaping.
And you have been in a dynamic with these kids that you never even realized was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now they're throwing the tip in the chair, blah, they're letting you know what they want. All right. Well, I guess we're learning how to, yes, you get to know what you want. And sometimes we don't get to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the learning is it's great to be your own person. You are learning how to be your own person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we don't get to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when the chair flips, when the yell happens, what are you telling yourself?
Oh shit. This again.
Yeah.
Right? Ugh. Like, why is this happening again? Because it's supposed to.
Because it's supposed to.
Okay. So it's when we think these things aren't supposed to happen. If my child was good, this wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
If my child would just listen, they just don't listen. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
listening problem. Their ears are probably fine. Right? Their ears
Mm-hmm.
are fine. The challenge is they can't regulate. They're learning this sense that, oh, I know what I like. They haven't developed the capacity how to regulate when they don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now as the parent, what happens if we start to go like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. Oh, we gotta get out the door. Right?
Yeah.
Now, our adult nervous system is going, and
Mm-hmm.
then a little child's nervous system is going to be in a loop with that and go like, double up. Right?
Yes.
Because before I was dysregulated, but now you're the big person and I can't regulate without you.
Right. Yeah.
So now who's doing the oh crap?
Yeah.
The
And then
child.
everybody just escalates. Like everybody just keeps
Yes.
going.
Yes. And we get that concept. You hear it in a lot of parenting things about the escalating and the how to do these steps. But the challenge is we forget that it is natural for a child to be dysregulated. We're not teaching them to regulate. We are supporting their dysregulation
Mm.
until they develop it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is back to that harmonized perspective that I'm learning how to be with a dysregulated child so that we can be in this developmental process together.
Mm.
That, even just the language around that is so calming.
Mhm.
Like I'm learning how to do
I'm
this
learning.
because sometimes, maybe today, it's like, I don't have time for this. You don't just get what you want. You don't get to call me an idiot. Get your stuff and get out of the door. We have to go. Like,
And you know what? They did get to call you an idiot.
they did.
You know what I
They
mean?
like
Like
you.
we think this shouldn't happen. This can't be happening. You don't get to do that. Look at that. Now let's just flip to that side of the equation for a bit. So you
Yeah.
get the concept with the kids. They're unregulated, they are developing, they are not capable of doing things until it develops from within.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are the primary environment in which they develop.
Mm-hmm.
So our regulation, our presence, kids depend on proximity, eye contact, literal touch, vibration, movement, all of these things, their system is detecting and deciding if it's okay to be them at any moment. And as soon as it's not okay to be them for whatever reason, their signals detect, they're at the mercy of an adult helping them.
Mhm.
Mm.
They just are not capable.
Yeah.
Now they can handle a little bit more, they can handle from being in the uterus to being out in the world. They can handle from being held to crawling, like their world's constantly getting bigger. Think about your own experiences. The world kept getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's that perspective bringing it back. So the question becomes now, what's happening in me when I hear that? When I see that, when that stimulus then comes at me, just like we're talking about our stimulus comes at them,
Mm-hmm.
their sounds and their emotions and all of their stuff comes back into our what's going on here? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And what
Yeah.
is the adult system flag? Sometimes danger.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The sound can be piercing. The movements can be fast.
Overstimulation is
Over, yes,
that's what I feel like I struggle with the most is like
yes.
it's loud and there's a lot of it and like it just feels like such chaos that I'm just like, everyone be quiet before I lose my mind.
Yeah.
Is that right? And
Mm.
sometimes there is this and then how do you handle it, right? When that is your detection system
Mm-hmm.
flagging to you, this isn't safe. I think that's the detection system. It picking
Yeah.
up this motion, this. Now, the challenge with us as adults, we already have a lot of this programming how to regulate. But it might have some quirks and false alarms and all of that. Because, like I said, like, why would it flag in my system that I'm not safe
Mhm.
with my kids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Well, sometimes I'm
Yeah.
not because they are in peril, but but yeah, it's like there
But
are
it is a
some,
false alarm. Like literally, if
right.
we really take it to the purpose of our survival system, our threat
Mhm.
detection system, it is really designed for the bears and the buses flying at us and those things that literally are a threat to our existence.
Mhm.
Right, that we know when it's the sensory cues and the social cues and these relational dynamics, they're often from a real life standpoint, a false alarm.
Mm,
It still feels like a real threat inside, but it
Yeah.
really isn't life threatening,
Mhm.
right. Right.
right? So it's a false alarm in this context, and it really is a 5-year-old, and it really is a chair.
Mm-hmm.
But inside of me, it feels like a bus is coming at me.
Right.
It feels like I've got to get away from this. Now that's the regulating pattern inside of the adults because we all have one too.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's functioning depends on what were our experiences and how did our little biocomputer start to detect what sounds were safe, what sounds were scary. Is anybody going to be here to help me? We went through all that same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're just the larger version of the little kid we were
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh,
may still have all those same hiccups and kinks and
Mhm.
disruptions to our regulation that were imprinted through our early experiences.
Mhm. Well,
yeah.
I don't, but I could see that for other people. Like I've witnessed that in other people.
It's definitely not me.
Yeah, I
But
don't have, and my nervous system is just a well-oiled machine.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. I do want to go back to the whole deal. There's nothing wrong with us that we have this.
Mm. This is
Mhm.
some
Just
pretty kumbaya stuff here.
like let that sink in.
Yeah.
You have to have it to have
Yeah.
survived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we didn't do anything wrong. We like this is just how it goes being a human offspring.
Right.
So now we just wanna tweak it.
Yeah. So now you want to go like, oh, what's that in me? Like, whoo, what did that poke in me? What's my tangle
Mm-hmm.
that I can find more capacity for those sounds? Where's the constriction in my algorithms? Where's the fast track to blah that really I could slow down? So now we
Mm-hmm.
have another level of the adult growth. If we really want to boil it down, it's like, okay, when I have these experiences with my kids, how is that prompting me that there's something that I can have healthier and I can restore in my own
Mm-hmm.
system.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not bad, broken, wrong.
Right. Right.
You know,
It's just
It's
how we are.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't know that it was going to have an implication until now you have a 5-year-old flipping a chair over and you're going, wow, I guess I didn't realize, that I had this little kink in me. I wonder if I want
Mhm.
to go get that unkinked.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
How do we do that?
Ah, how do you do what you do now?
Coffee?
Okay. So see if that helps. So right, so try what's in your arsenal already. Like go, does this help me? How does
Mhm.
this help me? I yelled. How does that help you? It helps a lot to yell.
Yeah. Well, I do feel better after
It
I
feel yes. Yes. That is a regulator.
Ah,
It's a
so it's
regulator.
fine when I do it, but it's not fine when my kids do it.
Bingo.
Walked right into your trap. I walked right into it.
And it wasn't a trap. It's actually just nature.
Yes.
It is nature. And that is a regulator. So if our system learned to regulate by being able to blah, that is what it has in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do? We go like, oh, wow, I notice how that happens for me. Huh, I'm going to get to know that a little bit better because I don't really quite get that algorithm and if I want to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
What if our yelling, like my yelling helps me regulate,
uh-huh.
is activating for them, and same
Correct.
vice versa. Their yelling
Correct.
helps them, but it activates me. So then what?
Where does change start?
With the woman. Always the woman.
Specifically, yes. Yes. Yeah. But see, then this is the perpetual, probably never ending debate. And we can even trace that back to earliest imprinting. Usually boys are socially traumatized earlier in their lives than girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually get a jump on our ability to be connected to our systems and to trust our internal systems a little bit better. Because we tend to try to take, and I know it's changing now, thankfully, but we tended to take emotion and that trusting your instinct out of boys by the time they're 3 or 4. They don't need to cuddle, they're not scared, be a big boy, like all of that starts like they don't trust their system. And if you don't trust your system, it's going to be really hard to take a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we get to, girls tend to have a little bit more, oh yeah, well, the cuddling, and we can cry and we should be scared. And it's a different dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
right? That eventually go like, no, I'm tired of this. And we come more into our autonomy, in a healthy, growing way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The pressure on little boys can be it's too shaming too early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
Yeah.
And when
really
it's too
reward them.
shaming, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we as a society reward the little boys for not having feelings or
And
just
be big.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's bad if you're not. So that's that shaming part. Like it doesn't feel okay to have my feelings.
yeah,
Right. I feel bad having my feelings. So now I was like, I'm not gonna go there because that just feels bad.
right.
Right.
Right. And the way they looked at me or the way they didn't want to be with me, and my dad walked away from me, like all that registers in that survival system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's yes, you're going to be the ones.
Yeah,
Bottom line, right?
yeah,
And it can be very life-giving. Because
sure.
imagine what your morning would be like if you didn't have to go to those regulators to get yourself out the door,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it interrupted the dynamic. Think of it like your energy between their energy. Think like a figure eight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when energy comes into you, you're tapping into old biocomputer. How do I regulate? I gotta yell, I gotta walk away, I gotta send them to their room because I need the break, but I'm gonna banish you. Right? Like we do all these things that help our system regulate, which sends a lot of inadvertent messages.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm too much for my mom. I have to figure this out myself. I'm abandoned, right? So all this helps our system, but it is communicating something back beyond our words.
Mm-hmm.
The felt experience the child has informs their biocomputer,
Mm-hmm.
and they're forming their regulators. Okay. So when we're in this dynamic, it is very natural that how we're responding and those inadvertent messages that get sent to them is shaping their biocomputer to only reinforce what it is we're not really wanting.
Yeah.
And we get in this
Fine.
dance, right? And
Oh,
and the, and again, I want to come back to the fact that this is natural.
yeah.
Mhm.
Nobody's wrong, broken, I don't know, all these labels, evaluations we make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it's so easy to get caught up in all of the like, well, we're supposed to be doing it this way, or we're supposed to be doing it that. Like the social media stuff now is just like
Making it much worse.
it
Yeah.
is like, oh,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be feeding them like this. You're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed
Okay.
here's how you can blah blah blah. Like Mackenzie was
Mhm.
saying earlier, you can potty train your kid in 2 days with you just
Yep.
have to follow this and you have to do this. And it's like
Mhm.
so heavy all the time.
Mhm.
Yes. So take back your power.
Mhm.
Mm,
And this isn't unique to parenting. We do it with our health, and the doctors know best, and we do it with parenting, and the experts know best, and we do it at work, and my boss knows best, and we have become very disconnected to the fact that we have a well-being system inside of us. We have an attunement system inside of us. We have communication of every signal that our body absorbs up into our own cortex that informs us of what is most important.
Mhm.
Okay. So part of this is the systemic dynamic that we continue to chase solutions from out there rather than get connected to what's in here.
yeah. And I feel like the more we're chasing the outside stuff, the less we're able to even connect with what's on the inside.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Ugh. Yeah, because sometimes it's like I'm just like, I don't even know what to do in this situation. Like, I don't know what to do about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is all the pressure from all the different
Right.
things. Like, oh, it's supposed to, they can't do that. They can't be disrespectful and call you
Yeah.
an idiot. They can't blah, blah, blah. They can't this. Like, I've heard a lot lately, and I don't know why, but like all the like newer parents, like our age parents, like so soft on their kids and they just like let
Mhm.
them do whatever. And the kids just run everything. And it's like, I can't win. I don't know.
Isn't that right? That is exactly it. And you can't just you cannot win if you're constantly chasing somebody else's rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it is a balance, and it isn't an always. We are dynamic, part of nature. Okay. It's spring. Everybody's getting excited about their yard and their gardens, right? You get some flowers going in the yard. You know, you go out and you see the daffodils are kind of limp and flopping over. So we
Mm-hmm.
go, straighten up, straighten up,
Yeah, no,
right?
it's not gonna
You go
work.
like, do you need some water? Has it, like what's been going on? What can I do to help you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's harder to do with our kids because it has an internal connection, and if we're feeling the pressure to get it right, right, our pressure is going to flag us to use some of these old autopilots that really aren't helpful right now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
The automatic patterns, right?
Yes.
This is how
Yes.
this is how it's
Yes.
weird. And so
Yeah.
like I get overwhelmed and I just like go with
Go.
that.
You go. And this is the reality. So as if somebody's coming up with a solution, it is a solution in a context, a developmental stage, a regulating pattern for the parent, the ability to access a new skill, which we can't do if we're dysregulated.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're all right. It's just not a one size fits all.
Yeah.
They're all right about some situation at some time, but we are dynamic. We're changing, just like those daffodils. Oh, not enough water, they're gonna, droop. Too much sun, they're gonna dry out. Like, we are dynamic and we're interactive with the environment, and we're constantly, well, hopefully growing. But if there's indications we're not growing, then, well, how do we need to tend the soil, tend the environment, work on the stimulus, work on the feeling safe.
Huh.
Mm,
Okay? So it comes from in you,
mhm,
Which is,
trusting that you know you.
yeah. And going back to that social media thing is like we are losing our ability to even trust or even listen to our intuition when we're constantly just looking at other people who have a deal on this package that you could buy and you could figure it out, and
mm,
Mm-hmm.
we're just inundated with so many options, so much technology now too, that
Yes.
like,
And it's constant and it's right there,
yes.
and it again is becoming a dynamic in and of itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like every program, every parenting technique, everything wants to be like the way they present it is like you use this for everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. It's
Yeah.
that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, hey, take what pieces of this will work for you and your kid. It's like, no, you apply this in the way
Yeah.
that it's meant to be applied, no matter what's happening, no matter how
Yeah.
different it is. And I think I mean, for me, is why it can get so overwhelming because it's like, some of this shit does not work in these situations for my kid. It's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna work for us. And the more that I like try to jam it in there, the like worse that it goes. And then we all feel
Yes.
bad.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can sense that, but
Mm.
you even overpower your own sense that it's not working because it's supposed to, or something's wrong with me if it doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or if I don't, someone's gonna judge me. Like, we have all these inner, dynamics again back inside of us. When this happens, this is what I tell myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that can just eat away.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the best measuring stick, first of all, for your own well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And doctors, therapists, great to have the resources. You have a better understanding of you. I might know some stuff, but you know you. A
Mhm.
doctor might know some stuff, but you know you. Okay. And you are most likely, or the only capable, most connected people to attune to your child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So cleaning out and getting this doesn't mean we always can. You have the best odds of doing it as anybody.
The best odds. May the odds forever be in your favor.
Right. Like, because we can't always get to that space. You got to be in a place where you can go like, oh, I can really sense your vibe and it's not disturbing my vibe. Like, I get that.
Mm,
Oh yeah, it's this pattern when you give that extra yell at night and I bring you that water, oh, you get to see me again. It's not really about the water. Maybe
mhm,
we didn't have enough time. Maybe you're missing that attention lever that helps you feel safe and that I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Right? But we make it about, well, no, you got to go get your own water. Or we make it about something and we miss the cue of what's really being sent, that's really being sent.
Yeah.
mhm.
Mhm.
Tell us about the workshops and classes you have coming up and how.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so that's just getting started. So I will tell you as much as I can tell you and appreciate that. So I'm doing the one-on-one coaching or just family coaching and working with people that way. And this is a little bit of who I am, is I'm always going, we could do this simpler. So, yes, I love working with families and their kids, but why does it take a process of one-on-one work together to help people understand and practice and build this connection? So I am starting some new programs in this whole model of harmonized growth. We're growing from the inside, right? So part of the harmony is our own growth inside. Part of the harmonized growth is our growing with our children's, with our partners, sometimes with family, our own parents, right? But this that can be in this harmonized place that we can grow together. So I do have a website started, and it's called Systemic Growth, which is a really ugly name right now, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And we're just rolling with it for now because that's what it is. And it will grow
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it will evolve, right?
Yeah.
But it's systemicgrowth.org, and I have a program starting in June, and it's going to run for 5 weeks. Right now it'll be live because I still want to be in this place of being able to hear people's examples and interact live. So we'll meet once a week live starting in June, and it's called the Harmonized Growth Primer. And we're going to talk about these very basics of just how to listen to you. What is nature? How did nature inform us to grow and to be on this continual path of growth? And it's really considered just a foundational, like, get into this paradigm and see if it fits for you.
Cool.
Okay. Now, and it has, and I'll just be honest, it is not going to tell you what to do.
Hmm.
I don't tell my therapy clients what to do. We get in and we explore and we learn to listen and we, clean out some cobwebs. And this is about you getting to understand what you can do and how that's very beneficial to your own health, as well as parenting, as well as having a boss, as well as trying to lead people in really unpredictable times, like however you want to apply it.
Hmm.
Right? But it starts there. And you and on the webpage for the Harmonized Growth Primer, I'm trying to do some little webinar free things, but this is all
Yeah.
new to me. You guys are like rock stars in my world. Like, you're doing this stuff. I'm just going, do a webinar? I don't know. How do I do that? Zoom? Okay, I can do that. But they'll happen. It's just a matter of, it's infant.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
infant.
Yeah.
The next one of those is coming up on May 1st.
Okay.
And the link for that's on the website too. If anybody wants to just check out a little free webinar
Yeah.
on a
And you said
Wednesday.
you'll have more of them, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
we'll have this edited and out by May 1st. So
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So if
future
it goes
ones.
out before June 4th,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
when
we
the
can
thing
do that.
starts.
Yeah.
That's when the thing starts.
Yeah.
How we do? All right. Other
Yeah.
what's sitting with you? What's uneasy? What feels really, easy to grab onto?
I
I think
mean,
the whole thing sounds a little too easy of just like stop stressing yourself out about all of these things you think you have to do
yeah.
and start
That
learning how to turn inward.
Yes. And I tell you what, taking off that top pressure will change the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel calmer just like having talked about this stuff. Like
Yeah,
it
that's
feels
it.
like okay, like
Yeah.
I'll know what to do and whatever I decide is okay, even if it goes against this Instagram famous person and what
Yes.
they claim is the right way to do things. Like it's
Yes.
okay to just do what works for me and what works for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And like if that works, then that's the best thing, not the whatever.
Correct. You know your children, the context, right?
Mhm.
And you can always pause and go like, huh, was that, were there any unintended consequences of how I approach that? Is there anything sparking me to look at this differently? Am I finding anything that is uncomfortable that I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to pay more attention to that. That's our natural growing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is taking off the top pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And just giving us space to be able to connect with what's
Going
happening.
on. Yes. What's going on in here? What's going on out there? And it often mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally. Totally.
Yeah.
So we should put our attention to, well, if I get the kids to change, then this will change. And we just flip it.
Mhm.
Oh, when I can get this to change, that will change.
Yeah.
So in my head, when I'm like, calm the fuck down, kids, it's actually, I should be like doing that to myself. Okay.
Yeah, and if that feels kind and gentle, go ahead and do it. If you want to drop it into like, oh man, Miranda, you got this. We got this. You can try that too.
Yeah.
Not really my style. I'm more the like,
Yeah.
come on.
I know. It still has an energy that might keep you a bit bumped.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why I'm always activated, is because I'm just fucking like that.
Circles. Just see the circles, right? Just see the circles. They go out, they come in, they go out, they come in. It's all just fluid back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Things are making sense.
Huh.
Things are making sense.
And it's all good. However you are is good.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
we'll just
Again,
grow.
very kumbaya.
Yeah, we'll
I just want to sit
grow.
by a
But it's
fire,
nature.
play
Yeah, it's
guitar.
nature.
Yeah.
Good. Let's get by the campfire and get out in nature and go like, yeah, this is how we are.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you
All
so
right,
much
how's
for
that for
sharing.
Friday?
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's just what I needed headed into a long weekend of having to parent my own children, Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
parent my
It
grandchildren.
is a growth opportunity for decades,
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Trying.
Thank you
Trying.
so much.
Do it.
Yeah.
I loved all of this. Like, this was so helpful. I'm so glad you came on.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just gonna, I do a busy about go. I just feel like,
Yeah, zen. I'm
Yeah.
super zen.
Like,
Yeah.
this is what your children need. This is what all of our children need. Mine are old and, flew off, and I did a lot of this wrong because I didn't know any of this until the last 10 years. But you know what? We'll keep working with it. That's just it. That feeling is what matters more to your children than
Uh-huh.
anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And you just proved it because, like, you shared your calm with us,
Yeah.
right? Like, it just happened during this time. Like,
Jeez.
Yeah.
you're calm, and so then it's
Yes.
like, great,
Yeah.
it works. Okay, I get it. I believe you.
We got it. Yeah.
Now
We'll
I just have to
calm
prove it.
down.
Yeah, but it was delightful. It was delightful. I don't even remember all the little, how this all came together, but I know I've been looking forward to it, and it proved to be as delightful as I was anticipating. So thanks.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I hope all of your podcasts and sharing, and you know what, whatever pace you get them done, that is good enough too.
Right. That's our motto.
Yeah.
Like,
I will do it.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Fine.
what is at risk if it took you 1 day, 10 days, or a year?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Have fun. Keep having fun. You're having fun. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well,
Pickup time.
yeah. Gotta
Yeah.
go pick up kids. If you like this podcast, check out Shelly. Say her website again.
Systemic growth.
Systemic Growth.
.org.
.org. It's .org.
Check out Shelly. We'll link some of her information. Otherwise, like us on all the social medias, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, not iTunes.
Apple.
Every time.
Just keep doing you.
You know what? I
It's
usually just say
fine.
social media us, and that is why.
Yeah.
Because I cannot say all the things.
Totally good.
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. Have a good week. Have a good Friday afternoon. Thank you again, Shelly.
Thank you, Shelly.
So welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.